Hi guys, welcome to lesson 7.3, more multiplication properties of exponents. This is our second of our chapter 7 lessons. Our objective for today is that I can raise a power to a power and that I can raise a product to a power. Our essential understanding is that you can use properties of exponents to simplify a power raised to a power or a product raised to a power. You can use repeated multiplication to simplify a power being raised to a power. So, problem number 1, simplifying a power raised to a power. First, I want to write in what my generic rule is going to be. And that is going to be a to the m power being raised to the n power. So we have a power that is being raised to an exponent. And what we do when we have that is we multiply m and n. So your answer is a to the mn power. You multiply those two exponents. Okay? So looking at problem A, we've got 5 to the 4th being squared. So you remember, when we are dealing with exponents, the exponent tells us how many times the base is being multiplied. Well, in this case, the base is 5 to the 4th, and it's being multiplied 2 times. So if we wrote it in expanded form, it would look like this. 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 4th. And now we have 5 to the 8th power. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay? So letter B, we have m to the 3rd raised to the 5th. So we have m to the 3rd times 5th, which is m to the 15th. We can rewrite that in expanded form again. You've got m to the 3rd, m to the 3rd, m to the 3rd, m to the 3rd, and m to the 3rd. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. M to the 15th power. Okay? So expanded form is great, although it is time consuming. And when we start dealing with larger exponents, it's much easier to just say 5 times 3 is 15. All right. Letter C, expanded form, is not really going to work out for us. So we've got y to the 1/4 times 1/2 powers. Multiplying exponent, or multiplying fractions, we need to just multiply our numerators and then multiply our denominators. So y is to the 1/8 power. Okay. I want you guys to try letters D, E, and F, and then I'll go over it with you. So letter D, we have x to the 4th being raised to the 4th power. So we have x to the 4 times 4, which is x to the 16th. Letter E, we have p to the 2/3 being multiplied by 3. So we have p to the 2/3 multiplied by 3 over 1. 3 is just 3 over 1. And we get p, sorry, not equals, p to the, our 3's cancel out, we're left with 2. So it's p to the 2nd power. Letter F, z to the 3/2 being raised to the 1/3 power. So we have z to the 3/2 times 1/3. Our 3's cancel out, so we're left with z to the 1/2 power. Okay. So problem 2 complicates things a bit. In this problem, we've got more than just one power involved. So we've got a power being raised to a power, but we also have the product of two powers. So in this case, you're going to want to simplify all of our product to or power to a powers. Anything that has the parentheses, we want to take care of that first. So if you think back to your order of operations rules, we're going to take care of parentheses and exponents first. So this is the first thing that we want to take care of, is this x to the 5th being raised to the 4th power. So out front, we still have the x to the 3rd, and x to the 5th being raised to the 4th power, that's 4 times 5, which is x to the 20th power. And now we just use the product rule. X, same base, we add our exponents. So it's x to the 23rd power. Okay. Letter B, we need to deal with this section here first. We're going to apply the power to a power rule. So we have y to the third times y to the 2 times 3 is 6 times y to the negative second. So now we can add these exponents up because we all have the exact same base. 6 plus 3 is 9, minus 2 is 7. So y to the 7th power. Letter C, we have c to the 3/5 being raised to the 10th times c to the 3rd. So we start by using the power to a power rule. So c to the 10th times 3/5, 10 times 3 is 30, divided by 5 is 6. So we have c to the 6th, c to the 3rd, which reduces to c to the 9th power. Okay. Again, I want you guys to try D, E, and F on your own, and then I will go over them. All right. Letter D, we have two negative exponents, so when we multiply -6 times -1/3, a negative times a negative is a positive. So we have n to the 6 times 1/3, that's just going to be 2. So we have n squared times n to the 5/6. 2 plus 5/6, we're just going to write this as an improper fraction. So 2 would be 12/6, plus 5 is 17/6. So n equals 17 over 6. Okay. Letter E, we have y squared to the 6th power times y squared. So 2 times 6, y to the 12th power times y squared, which simplifies to the y to the 14th. Letter F, 9 times 1/3 is going to be x to the 3rd power times x squared. Add those together, we have x to the 5th power. Okay. Moving on to the back page. Now we have a product being raised to a power. So up at the top of the page here, I'm going to put our generic example. So we have a times b raised to the m power. Okay, so when we have a times b to the m power, think of it like distributive property. We need to bring that exponent to each of our elements within the parentheses. So it'll be the a to the m power and b to the m power. All right, so looking at letter A here, 5x cubed squared. Well, if we were to write that in expanded form, it would be 5x cubed, 5x cubed. So we take the exponent of 2 and we distribute it to the 5 and to the 3. So we have 5 to the 2nd power, x to the 3 times 2, because we're still using power rule. And the reason why is if it's just a number or a variable by itself, it has an exponent of 1. So you could think of that. Okay, so 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2, that's going to be 6. So we have 5 squared x to the 6th power. But we could also simplify that a bit further and say 25x to the 6th power. And we can see that if we multiply here, 5 times 5 is 25. X to the 3rd times x to the 3rd, x to the 6th. Okay. Letter B, we have 7m to the 9th power being cubed. So we need to make sure we apply that exponent to both terms in the parentheses. So it's 7 to the third power, m to the 27th power. And when you do 7 to the third power on your calculator, you get 343 m to the 27th. Okay, letter C only has variables, so we are applying this 1/2 exponent to the 6 and to the 4. So x is going to be 4 times 1/2, which is just 2, and y is 6 times 1/2, which is 3. X squared, y to the third. Okay. I want you guys to try letters D, E, and F on your own, and then I will go over them. So letter D, we have an exponent of 3 being applied to the term 4n to the 1/2 power. So 4 to the third power, n to the 3/2 power, and 4 to the third power is 64, n to the 3/2. Letter E. We have an exponent of 2 that's being applied to the 4. And remember, there's an imaginary exponent of 1 on the 3. So we have 3 squared. G to the 4 times 2 is 8. 3 squared is 9. G to the 8th power. Okay. Letter F. 1/3 is being applied to each of the terms in our parentheses. So x to the 9th, 9 times 1/3 is going to be x to the third power. Y to the 6th times 1/3 is going to be y squared, or to the second power. And z to the third times 1/3 is going to be z to the first power, but we don't need to write in that one. All right, problem number 4, simplifying an expression with product. So now we are taking our product rule, product to a power, and we are applying it to multiple things. So we need to first simplify each of the products being raised to the power, and then we simplify any powers that have the same base. So we start off with the 4 times being distributed and the 3 being distributed. So we have 3 to the 4th power, c to the 5/2 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20, divided by 2 is 10, c to the 10th power. And we have c to the second power times c times 3 is c to the 6th power. So now we can simplify. 3 to the 4th power is 81. We have the same base, c, so we add our exponents. 10 plus 6 is 16. So it's 81c to the 16th power. Letter B, we have x squared squared. And then we have 3xy to the 5th being raised to the 4th power. So remember, we have the imaginary ones on the 3 and the x. So x squared squared is going to be x to the 4th power. Then we have times 3 to the 4th power times x to the 4th power, because 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4. Y to the 5 times 4 is 20th power. So now we need to simplify. We have we put our coefficient out in front, so 3 to the 4th power is 81 again. And now we have x to the 4th, which is going to be x to the 8th power, and then y to the 20th power. Okay. You guys try letters D and E on your own, and we will go over them. All right, so we have 3 that needs to be applied to the A, to the B, and to the 6th. all three of those pieces have a term or an exponent of 1. So we have 6 to the third power, a to the third power, b to the third power. In our second set, we have 2 going to those two terms. So we have 5 squared, a to the 6th power. So now 6 to the third power is 216, a to the third, b to the third, 5 squared is 25, and a to the 6th. So now we need to just do our last multiplication. 216 times 25 is 5,400. We have a to the third, a to the 6th, so that is a to the 9th power, and b to the third. Last problem for these notes. N to the 1/2 being raised to the 10th power, that's going to be n to the 5th power. 10 times 1/2 is 5. And now we have 4mn to the 2/3 being raised to the 3rd power. So we're using that exponent for each of them. So we have 4 to the 3rd power, m to the 3rd power, n to the 2/3 times 3 is just going to be 2, n to the 2nd power. So we need to simplify. 4 to the 3rd power is 64. N to the 5th, n squared is going to be n to the 7th. And m to the 3rd is m to the 3rd. All right. That is the end of our notes for today. Make sure you fill out your level of understanding. Rate yourself from a 0 to a 4. Write down any questions you may have over this lesson. And in the bottom, make sure you write down a summary of what we learned today, what skills we have added. Okay, have a great night, and I will see you in class tomorrow.